All right, and we are going. Okay, welcome Empowered to Lead. Welcome all of our leaders. We're so excited to have you here tonight. We're going to be talking about verbiage and objections. And before we get into that, just a couple of announcements for everybody. So Crystal Reset, Crystal Manager is in 15 days. You guys still have a little more than 2 weeks to reach that goal. Who's running for it? Yes, I love it. Okay, 15 days, you guys. You got this. If you need help with anything, reach out to somebody that can help you. The verbiage tonight is hopefully going to be able to get you closer to that as well. Couple things. I think it's going to be so important that we remind you all about events that are coming up. We have a great Super Saturday in Seattle on March 18th, and then another one in Denver that some of us are going to on the 25th. And then Jenny and Amy are hosting and presenting at one in Omaha, right? In Omaha on April 18th. So a lot of great things to plug into. That's all of us are, those are like the main places that most of us are located. And so if you have an event near you, post it in Empowered to Lead so that we can send our people to connect with you, maybe go and visit and go to that event with you. So make sure you guys are always building to events. That will help with this Crystal Reset as well. And then a couple of things that are really encouraging and have been really exciting for some people, and I left it at the other desk at the other computer. Hold on. So a couple of tips that we've been talking to people about that I want to give to all of you as well is that if you are not printing out the events, the associate events in isogenicsevents.com, I recommend doing it because it's so much easier to make a list of the people you want to invite to those events, even if you don't live near them. Because they're right there listed and you can write those names down and then you can track the people that you're reaching out to. It's so important to get people to events, and this has been a really effective way for some of us. And then the other tip that some of us are using that's been really helpful is printing out all your personally enrolled in your back office. You can go there and you can print that out from that page, and it just helps with tracking those conversations that you're having. It also shows you people who are terminated or their accounts are coming up as renewals, so that you can reach out to them if they don't have any BV running through. It's just another way to really track your business and treat it like a business and serve your people. So I highly recommend those 2 tips for sure. And then if you have any questions about that, you guys reach out in the group, or if you have different hacks that have really helped in your business, share them with everybody, because we're always looking for ways to improve and be a little bit more efficient with ourselves. So, all right, I'm going to go ahead and jump into introducing our presenters tonight. So we have Amanda Pike and Amber O'Hara. And so I'm going to introduce Amanda. So Amanda's been using Isogenics since November 2015. I'll never forget enrolling her. It was like the crazy power outage windstorm here in Spokane. And I was sitting in Cindy's dining room because we had to relocate, and she was ready to go. And I was like, okay, well, I got to go find some place that has internet. And so off to Cindy's we went. But so she's been using the product since then. Really dove into the business a few months later. She's currently a Crystal Director, running to Crystal Executive. And she has a really extensive background in marketing, like really incredible. At one point, even had her own marketing firm. Is that company firm? Is that the word for it? At one point, had her own marketing firm. She has tried almost everything you can think of in the fitness industry, from football to bodybuilding to MMA fighting. And so she really corners the market in my life in a lot of those areas, she's a really valuable resource. And then for Amber's been using Isogenics since August, just this last August in 2016. And we're so excited to have her here. She didn't jump into the business like day one, but definitely got started right away and has some really valuable tips she's going to share with you guys. But currently she's in Lincoln, Nebraska, moved out there from California, right, Amber? California, yeah. So made that big move, made that big leap of faith, and now she's out there with her family, her 3 kids. She spent 20 years in corporate America, and now she gets to be at home with her kids and her family. And that's what we're all about. We love empowering people to have the freedom that they want in their business and in their lives. And Isogenics is definitely getting Amber there. And so we're really excited to hear from both of them tonight. So a couple things I want to do to intro the call, just so that you have an idea of what we're going to be talking about. We've gotten a lot of great feedback from people on what are those main objections and the verbiage that you guys are really struggling with, and the posture that you really want to have. And so I grabbed Amanda and Amber because they have had great success in the areas that a lot of you have been asking about. Things like how to ask for the social security number, how to talk about the president's PAC, how to overcome objections before they even come up. So all these different things, Amber and Amanda rock at these, totally rock. And so they're going to share what's worked for them. Now, down the road, probably in a few weeks, we're gonna really dive into things like verbiage and dive into things like objections. And I mean, we have great resources and like Cindy and so many people on our team that have amazing sound bites. So we're going to give you a broad call with a lot of different verbiage. But tonight we wanted to focus on the things that you guys are telling us is holding you up. So we can give you those tools and you can just keep running, because we know a lot of people have some deadlines coming up. So that's what we're going to focus on. We're going to do a little bit of role play so you guys can see how an enrollment would go while using that verbiage. And then we're going to dive into it from there. So couple things. The first thing that I'm going to talk about before I hand it off is we get this question a lot with social media. And we did a social media piece a while back. And again, we're going to do more verbiage in that another time. But the thing I get asked a lot that I want to encourage you all is when you do a post or you have a power post or someone reaches out to you and they're interested, what do you do? How do you get them on the phone? And so I'm going to give you a couple quick steps and just templates that I use that are going to be really helpful. So the first thing, you do a power post and you have people who are commenting or people who are like, oh my gosh, that's so great. You know, I'd be curious to learn more, or whatever that looks like. Always reply to everybody. Even if they don't ask for more information, always reply to everybody. And when you reply to the people who ask for more information, say something real short, real uplifting, like, oh my gosh, you're going to love it. I'm messaging you now. Like, that's it. Don't go into any detail. Don't like write a long paragraph. Make it short and sweet. You're excited. You have so much belief in it. You don't need to talk it up a whole bunch in a comment. And then when you go to message them, again, bring that excitement, bring that posture, just like you were talking about your favorite restaurant or your favorite new pair of shoes. Like, oh my gosh, this has changed my life. And even if it's not for you, I'm so excited to share it with you. And I like putting that out there right away because it takes the pressure off. Because even if at some point they've kind of realized, oh, it's probably a network marketing thing or one of those shake things or whatever, by saying that, like, even if it's not for you, I just love sharing it. That takes that pressure off, and then their walls are down and they're just open because they know you're not trying to pressure them. Okay, and then what I do after that is I say something like, there's so many different solutions, or, you know, there's so many different ways that they help people, or that this nutritional program has helped people. Are you okay telling me a little bit more about your goals so I send you the information that's actually going to serve you? And that verbiage is really important too, because people don't want to be inundated with a bunch of crap that they don't want to read. So it's really important to ask them, what do you need? How can I serve you? And then people will share that with you. Once they share it, if it's the same goal as yours, you can say, oh my gosh, that's exactly why I started. You have to watch this video that my friend, whoever introduced you to Isogenics, that my friend sent me. You will love it. And then you're going to have questions just like I did. Let's hop on the phone. You know, is today good or tomorrow better? And I'll send you that video. You set the appointment. Do you see how I have not given them any information, but I'm excited and I'm driving that conversation? That's super important. And then what you're going to do from there, you set the appointment and you say, and I got this verbiage from Chris Harder and it's gold. You guys, it has completely transformed how many people I get on the phone. I say, before we hop on the phone, I'm going to send you a quick video that will answer all the easy questions so we can focus on more important things like your goals. I'm going to say that one more time. Before we hop on the phone, I'm going to send you a video that will answer all the easy questions so we can focus on more important things like your goals. And then they say, great, and conversation ends. Say like, great, so I'll call you tomorrow at 2. I'll send you the video right beforehand. And then the next day, always get their number too, like, what's your number? The next day, text them about an hour beforehand. And then once they confirm, then send them the video. I've done this a couple times where I send them the video and then they don't answer the phone or something came up at work. And then they have time to watch the video and you're not the first person they talk to after they watch the video. And that's so crucial, you guys. Okay, so using that timeline is really, really helpful. Before I go on, I just want, can I get a thumbs up? Because my internet's lagging a little bit. Is it okay? Can you guys still hear me okay?
We can hear you, but your video is freezing up. But
okay, I don't care about that. Okay, as long as
pretty good.
the voice is choppy. Okay, so so now you get them to a message and they want to know more, but they're not willing to give you information or not willing to get on the phone. Then you can follow up later, but if they're not getting back to me in a few days, I might follow up and say, hey, I'm still totally open to share with you. Just let me know what you're looking for so I can send you the right information. And then if they still won't get back to you or they're still not really willing to get on the phone, then just say, you know what, I'm going to follow up with you down the road. Maybe it's just not a good time, but if you're ever interested in the meantime, feel free to reach out. If they're just like so weird about getting on the phone, they're like, well, can you just send me information now, this or that? I always say, I'm going to do you one better, and I'm going to put you in this healthy lifestyle Facebook group I'm a part of. You will love it. And then you can poke around at your leisure. Because ultimately, you guys, we don't want to be weird or like hold this information hostage, but we want to be really selective and really, it's a gift. It's a really important treasure, and we don't want to just throw it out there to everybody like it doesn't mean anything. So guard it, but don't keep it, if that makes sense. So I hope that helps. If you guys need clarification on that, let me know. But I get that question a lot, and that's going to segue into how do you have the conversation when you're enrolling somebody? How do you talk about the President's Pack? How do you ask for the Social Security number? And those are things that Amanda has rocked. I'll never forget, and Amanda will probably share a little bit of this. I hope she does, but I'll never forget having this conversation with her last year when she's like, I never talk about the President's Pack because it's so much money for people. Once she shifted her mindset and started using this verbiage that she's going to share with you, and I want her to talk about her mindset shift too, changed everything. I'll never forget that text when she's like, oh my gosh, I just got my first President's Pack and it was so much easier than I thought. And it's, you guys, verbiage and posture is everything. So I'm so excited. I'm going to bring Amanda onto the call, and she's going to jump into that with you guys. And then Amanda, let me know if you want to do the role play.
Yeah, I do. Awesome. Thank you. Good, really good tips. I like that a lot. It's true. Okay, so I did not get started with the President's Pack. And raise your hand if you also did not get started with the President's Pack. Oh, like every single person, right? So I felt like, because I felt like the President's Pack was too expensive for me. It was too expensive. That's why I didn't get started. So I assumed, well, no one is going to want to pay $600 for, like, that's just really, really expensive. And I don't know anyone that has a lot of money. And I would prejudge. I would talk to people and I would kind of in my mind know, like, oh, there's no way she can afford that. And I would never even bring it up. And I thought that I was doing someone a favor because I thought I was taking away the cost barrier at the front and telling them about this really awesome, affordable $10 a day pack. And I got a bunch of people signed up on the custom system, which is great. That's a great system for a lot of people. But I bet you there were quite a few people that could have and would have paid for the President's Pack and maybe had a better experience. I'm not sure. Maybe they would have retained on longer. Maybe their order baskets would be higher. Like, studies show, or statistics show, that when you get started on a President's Pack, all of that stuff does happen. You retain longer, you have better success, things like that. But I wasn't giving people an option, right? I was just telling them, this is the one you have to go with. This is what you should do. And I heard a few people, like, on different training talking about the President's Pack, and I don't know, it just didn't feel like tangible to me until I listened to Eden and Zach Slobin's verbiage on how to sell the President's Pack. And we still call it our President's Pack. I think they've even changed it on the website. Now it's the Value Pack. So I never say the word President's Pack on the phone. I just don't. I always say the Value Pack, and I'll go through the verbiage in a second. But they gave me this verbiage, or not gave me, they were on a call and they gave the verbiage and I wrote it down word for word and I practiced it. And even though it didn't feel supernatural and it wasn't even 100% truthful to me, because you'll hear what I mean about that in a second. It's a little bit manifestation in this one, but it was, I used it and it worked. And I'm on the other line, like, okay, trying not to act surprised that they want to order the President's Pack, but I'm like, oh, awesome, right? And since then, every time, I think I use this verbiage on every single call, and I would say 75 to 95% of the time, people will choose the President's Pack. It's all in your posture and how you frame it, and the fact is, it is a better value, it is a better deal, they will have a better experience. It sets them up for success in the long run. So what I would recommend that you guys do is, if you don't already use this verbiage, I would highly suggest writing it down, or we have the recording of this, so for afterwards, you guys can go back. And I would definitely suggest going back and watching the Eden and Zach Slobin video. It's in Isagenix Business. I'm pretty sure it's probably on YouTube. If you just search, might not be, but we can find it for you. It's been posted in Empowered to Lead as well. So you guys, from your computer, you can go in and search for it. It's awesome, awesome, awesome verbiage. Okay, so basically I'm on a call with somebody, we're talking about their goals, I'm asking a lot of questions, and then they're kind of done talking, and now it's my turn to talk. It's kind of a natural progression in the conversation. And I say, okay, awesome, you know what? I have 2 systems in mind for you that I think are gonna be perfect. They're gonna go right along with your goals. The first is our Value Pack. This is our hands down best-selling system at Isagenix. You're going to get the best results with it. It is how I get 98% of my friends started with Isagenix on the products. I wish I got started with the Value Pack, and I'll tell you why. So you're going to get your 2 shakes a day, like we've been talking about, for 30 days. All of your cleanse products for those 4 cleanse days. Plus, you're going to get I talk to mostly women. You're going to get our women's vitamins. These are awesome. They come in the handy AM and PM tear packs. They have all your CoQ10 and your vitamin C, your anti-aging telomere support, your multivitamin, like everything you can imagine right there, AM and PM packs. You're gonna get a box of our chocolates. They're fat burning chocolates. They're so good. They come in 4 flavors and they're perfect for cleanse days. you're gonna get a box of our protein bars. Those things taste like candy bars, but they're so good. You can have half as a snack on a shake day, or you can have a whole one on a shake day, if you're on the go as a meal replacement. Let's see, you get a free blender, right? It's a personal one of those mini blenders. Those are awesome. You bring it to work or have it at home if you don't already have one. You get your Ionic Supreme, of course. How can I forget Ionic Supreme, right? That's those mineral adaptogens. Are going to help keep your stress levels down. So you're going to get all of that, plus even more goodies and samples, free membership. I say it like this, I'm kind of like throwing it in like kind of casually, but like, wow, you're getting so much stuff. So that's a value pack. Awesome. And that one is about $20 a day. And then after that, that's what I suggest for the first month, especially like you've never tried these products before, you're really looking to hit the ground running. That is the best way to get started for your first month. And then for, the next month and several months after that, I'm going to recommend more of our base system, because you don't need a new blender every single month, right? And that's pretty much the only excuse I give for why you would downgrade to the base system, right? I'm like, you don't need a new blender every month, right? They're like, they laugh, oh, yeah. And I say, okay, so our base system, still really, really good. You're still going to see awesome results. But by that time, you're going to be using the value pack. You're going to be knowing exactly what flavors you like, the products, you're going to get to try everything out. And then with the value pack, with the basic custom system, you're going to get still your 2 shakes today, all your cleanse products for 4 cleanse days, still get your Ionic Supreme, and then you're going to get a $50 voucher to use towards maybe, 1 or 2 of those other products. So in the value pack, you get all of those awesome products, and with the custom 30-day system, you get your $50 voucher. So it's like, I'm obsessed with the bars. I have to have those, and I want the greens. Then you can use your voucher towards that. Or if you're like, I'm not cleansing without the chocolates, I need to have those chocolates, and I want to try the e-shots this time. So that's kind of the main difference. With the value pack, you get to try a little bit of everything. It's great. And then the custom kind of base system that we've been talking about, still really, really good. Probably what I suggest for, months 2, 3, and 4 until you hit maintenance mode. Once you get to maintenance mode, then we'll have a whole nother conversation. That's kind of something a little bit different. But those are the 2 systems. And that one is about $10 a day for 30 days. And keeping in mind that both of these systems are replacing, 2 to sometimes 4 of your meals a day. So it's really, really an awesome value. Which of those 2 systems sound best for you right now? And then I shut up because I just did a lot of talking. And I'm like kind of nervous right now, so I'm mumbling, over my words. But basically, you just lay it all out there for them. And at this point, I haven't even sent a link. So I'm painting the picture for them in their mind. I'm thinking of the photo. Sometimes I'll even have it up on my computer of what comes with the value pack and what comes with the 30-day. And I'm painting the picture for them. So I'm like, and you're getting these awesome bars, and you're getting the chocolates, and you're getting the Ionic Supreme, right? And a free blender. And then I move to the base system. I say a few things. I say, this is how I get 98% of my friends started. I feel okay saying that because now that's becoming more true. In the beginning, that wasn't necessarily true for me, but I had the posture and I said it. And Eden Slobin says it in her video. She's like, just say it. People want to be part of a group. They want to do what other people are doing. So that's what I say. And now it's becoming more true, which is awesome. Tweak that language how you want to. If you say, this is how I get most of my people started, this is how most people get started with Isagenix, I say 98% because that's what Eden said and it's been working. I don't call it a president's pack. So if you're in the habit of doing that, get out of that habit. And I just say value pack. And now the website reflects that. So there won't be confusion, right? The value pack. I make a joke about the free blender because even if someone's like, I don't need a free blender, like there's still that added value in it. And I just throw it in there and I do mention free membership real quick. I don't harp on those things, but I do mention it because it's a good segue for me to say, then that's great for your first month. But let's be real, you don't need a free blender every month. And sometimes I'll say, and you don't need to spend $600 a month. I want you to know that that's not like the standard amount that you have to spend, because people will hear that and then they get nervous and they feel like they have to lock into that amount every single month. And you just tell them, no, that's for your first month. You're going to have awesome results. So you can try, if your husband or your kids are like snooping around, you have a few extra snacks you can share with them. And then I talk about the base system. I still say 2 shakes a day, your cleanse products, but you have a $50 voucher included in the price to customize it how you want, because you're going to know those go-to products. That's how I say it. And then I say, which of those 2 systems sound best for you right now? The first time I did that, I was like, what are they going to say? And she was like, well, I think that first one, that one sounds awesome. Because it does sound awesome. I just described it like that, right? So, and then they say, okay, well, I think I want to do the value pack. And I'm like, oh my gosh, yes. Like, I'm so glad you said that. It is the best way to get started. And if they are a little bit weary about the price, then I'll mention the 30-day money back guarantee. But I do not talk about the 30-day money back guarantee with every single person. It's just not necessary. Sometimes less detail is better in things like that. You don't want to put plant any seeds of doubt in their mind. If they're like, yes, sign me up, good to go. Awesome. I love it. Okay, great. And then I say, okay, if you have a few more minutes, just take a couple of minutes. I'm going to pull you up on the computer. I'm going to get your account created. I'll take all your order information. I'll help you with the first order. And then after that, you have free reign to log in and order as much or as little as you want. So it's always you're framing it as a service for people. And you let them know that they have total control. Okay. So I know I went really fast through that verbiage. You guys can go back and watch the recording, search for Eden and Zach Slobin's. I think Amy had some similar verbiage actually in her unboxing video of the value pack in Lean Body for Life. So it's very similar verbiage going through here. And there's a reason why. It's because it totally works. Okay. Rachel, is that good? Should I move on to the next piece?
Yeah, that was awesome. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, I forgot to say this, but as Amber and Amanda are presenting, if there's anything that they're talking about that you want clarification on, pop it in the chat, and then I'll moderate those questions for them in between segments. So feel free to blow that up if you want clarification on anything. But yeah, let's go ahead and move on, Amanda. That was awesome.
Okay. Sorry, I'm feeling, even though I've done these calls, I'm like still feeling kind of nervous. So I'm like, stumbling over my words. Okay.
No, you're doing great.
Okay. So then they're like, yes. I would love the value pack. Awesome. Reaffirm them, tell them how it's going to help them reach their goals, and then finish the enrollment on that call. Do not hang up and say, oh, I'll call you back tomorrow and we'll finish the enrollment. Like, do not ever do that. Just go, hey, if you it'll take about 10 minutes. I'll just set you up right now. And people will say, okay, awesome. Great. So you go into your back office. You guys know how to do this. Click enroll new member. And this is the verbiage that I go through. And hopefully this is the verbiage. I listened to Rachel on so many three-way calls. And I just wrote down word for word what she said until I memorized it. And now this is word for word what I say. So I would highly suggest that. Don't go to work to complicate it. Obviously make it your own, but especially for when I talk about the social security number, don't morph that into your own thing. Just use what Rachel and I use and you'll be golden. Okay. So Rachel, let's role play here. I'm going to enroll you. Okay.
Perfect. It's been a while since
I've
awesome. Enrolled, so it'll be awesome to do it again.
Perfect. Okay. Awesome. So the first thing we're going to set up your account. So it's just like, Amazon where you can log in and you can purchase all your products. Cool. And I'm going to send you an email with all this information afterwards. So don't feel like you have to remember it. I'm going to send it to you. Awesome. But what's a username that you like to use and that you can remember?
Isahati 123.
Okay. And I'm typing Isahati 123. Awesome. I'm going to set your password as healthy 2017. It's good for me to have your password just in case there's any questions or you see something a little bit funky in your back office. It's good for me to have it. You can log in at any point and change it, but I'm going to set your password for you as this, and I'll email that to you afterward.
Cool.
Okay. So I know her first and last name. Put that in. Okay, Rachel, what's the address that you want your products delivered to?
29 West 17th Avenue.
Perfect. City, state, zip. Pretend like she gave that to me. And what's your email address?
RachelJMBriscoe@gmail.com.
Perfect. And your best daytime phone number, is that the cell phone number that we're talking on right now?
Yeah, that'd be perfect.
Okay, awesome. And your birth date?
10/12/84.
I usually make some joke about what sign they are because I really like astrological signs, so I usually put that in. Okay, perfect. All right, awesome. Okay, so since we're setting you up with a wholesale account and you're getting a wholesale discount, Isagenix just wants to confirm that you're a human and not a robot or a business trying to, take advantage of the discount and resell the products. So for that, I just need your social security number.
Okay. Blah, 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 blah.
Perfect. Okay, awesome. All right, and then I'm just going to hit confirm here. It's just going to look you up, make sure everything's confirmed, and then we're going to talk about your products. Awesome. So then I hit continue. Now, it does take a couple seconds to process. And then as soon as it does, I'll make conversation. I don't just leave it like weird and awkward silence. I'll make conversation about whatever, their sign or whatever it is. And then as soon as the next screen pops up, I'm like, okay, this is the fun part. We're going to pick out your flavors. And then I say, okay, so we're going to get you the value pack, and I walk through it that way. So let's go back to the Social Security part. I literally go through the form top to bottom. And if I'm on the phone, if I'm like just collecting their information and I'm not from around my computer, the Social Security is the very last thing that I collect. So Rachel gave me a good tip. You want to collect the non-sensitive or non-scary information first, which is, name, obviously, product, the address that they want their products delivered to, their birth date, their email address, their phone number, right? That's all easy information to give out. And then I don't change my tone. I don't get weird. I don't drop off the line. I just say, okay, awesome. So because you're getting a wholesale discount, Isagenix just needs to confirm that you're a human. They always laugh when I say that you're a human and not a robot or a business, trying to take advantage of the discount. So for that, I just need your Social Security number. And then I shut up. Some people will pause and give it to you. Some people will just give it to you. And some people will say, really? Like, do they really need your Social Security number? And I say, yeah, they really do. That's how they verify that you're a human. And, they have had trouble with that in the past. Like if you ever see products on Amazon and things like that, just taking advantage of the discount. So that's the best way to do it. And then I'd be quiet. And then if they're still a little bit weird about it, I say, also, we haven't talked much about it, but to be honest, Isagenix has the most amazing word of mouth referral marketing bonuses. And this is how they're going to pay you. So when your husband and your friends and your coworkers are like seeing your amazing results, they're going to keep asking you, what are you doing? You just tell them it's Isagenix. I'll help get them enrolled just like I'm helping you. Every time you help somebody, Isagenix will pay you a referral cash bonus. Well, it's a debit card that'll come in the mail, and they need your Social Security number in order to issue that money and pay that out to you. At that point, they're almost always like, okay, cool, here it is. And then I move on. If they're just absolutely like, no, I've had identity theft, I will not do this, like I want the products, but I'm not giving you my Social Security number, then I give them a couple more options. I say, totally understand. Is it that you're uncomfortable giving me your Social Security number, or is it that you're uncomfortable giving Isagenix your Social Security number? And I'm not offended either way. And it's usually has nothing to do with me. It's because they don't want to give Isagenix. So if they said, oh, I don't trust you, I don't know you, you're a stranger or whatever, I would say, because I can send you the link. Like you can absolutely like enroll over the phone or directly through the Isagenix website. But that's not really an option. Then if they're like, no, I'm not giving Social Security number no matter what, then I say, okay, I totally understand. Here's the thing. We can absolutely set you up with a different kind of account where you still get the wholesale discount, you still get all the products, everything stays exactly the same. Just know that down the road, you won't be able to collect any of those thank you bonuses or referral cash from Isagenix until you upgrade your account. And upgrade just means you decide down the road that you're okay giving Isagenix your Social Security number. That's all that means. And at that point, then you can be earning the bonuses. There's literally no difference. And they say, okay, I feel comfortable with that. Then you just back up a screen, go back to preferred customer, right? So do not give them the option of preferred customer. Like, when you click add new member and it shows you that screen, like, do you want auto ship or something else? You don't ask them, do you want to give us your Social Security number and have auto ship, or do you not want to do that? Because most people are going to say, no, thanks, I don't want to do that. I don't see it as being misleading. I just don't give them the option. I just tell them, this is how we do it. What's your username? What's your information? I need your Social Security number. I rarely have anyone, even people literally who had never talked to before, they just know me through Facebook or online, they'll give it to me because you're building trust throughout the whole conversation. You're not asking for the Social Security number first off, right? And you just say, because we're opening you up a wholesale account with a wholesale discount, Isagenix just needs to confirm that you're a human and not a robot, taking advantage of the discount. So in order to do that, I just need your Social Security number. And that's it. And it works almost always. So I don't know how other people are asking for it, but it is a sensitive piece of information. So you want to be sensitive to it. Like you don't want to just say, oh, give me your number. It's not a big deal. But you want to act like this is normal. Everybody gives it to you, which they do. So,
Absolutely.
Okay. Anything else, Rachel? Did I cover that okay?
Yeah, that was great. A couple of tips, just from my own experience, like Amanda, that was amazing. And when you're asking for the Social Security number, one of the pieces that I have found really helpful is I ask for the Social Security name first. So I'll say something like, Lori, okay, like we've gone through all the easy information. I'm like, okay, Lori, I got a weird question for you. Is Lori Bryn your legal name, like what shows up on your social security card? And she's like, oh yeah. I'm like, okay, perfect. Because Isagenix is going to verify that you in fact exist, that you are a human and not a robot. But especially the married ladies, they got to make sure that your name has been changed because they need to verify that. And they're like, oh yeah, no problem. I'm like, okay, cool. Now social security number. And it's just like such an easy transition into that. And I think I've literally in the last 6 months had one person that was like, oh, they really need that? And exactly what Amanda said. I'm like, yes, because you're going to have access to all the bonuses that you need. They do need to verify that you exist. But legally, they can't pay you any of the bonuses, but Amanda's verbiage was perfect. When your friends and your family start noticing, you see that she's projecting that the vision and casting that. When your friends and family start noticing and you help them set up accounts just like I'm helping you, you're showing them how simple it is, then you're not going to be able to get any of those thank you bonuses without Isagenix being able to verify that. And to this day, I don't think I've ever enrolled a preferred customer, just because people always end up getting it. So yeah, great verbiage. And then what Amanda said about this isn't misleading. You guys, I thought it was in the beginning. I was like, oh, there's options and I'm not telling about it in the beginning. No, we know what's best for them, but they don't know what they don't know. So you're not misleading them. You're giving them the absolute best case scenario because you want to set them up for success. And if they get through all those steps and have no objections, then you serve them. If they do have objections, then there is another option. But they don't know what they don't know. So always go best case scenario, which is why you lead with the value pack and why you lead with the associate account. Okay? Awesome. Amanda, I love it. Was there anything else before we transition over to Amber?
I don't think so. Oh, go ahead, Cindy.
Well, I just wanted to say I loved everything you just did. That was fantastic, Amanda. And what I would say, instead of even calling it an associate account, I would call it a rewards account. Isagenix has a rewards account. It's the best account to get. You get better than wholesale pricing on all of the systems, packs, and products. Just that verbiage. It's a rewards account. You get better than wholesale pricing on all the systems, packs, and products. And that's the truth. It's the best account to get. They're going to get the best discount on all the products, and it sets them up for success when their friends and family start to ask them what they're doing. You know, there's amazing referral bonuses, and they, you know, just everybody makes some cash with Isagenix. They just have to do it that way. That's it. Good
point. I don't even mention the names, associate or preferred customer. I don't say any of that. I just say, we're going to open up your account. I like the rewards account. I think that's smart. Yeah, I'm going to start using that. So just only give them the information that they need and have good posture and confidence.
And you guys, it will feel weird the first few times. Truly. The asking for the social was a weird hang up for me for whatever reason. And now it's like, I'm excited to get to it because I know that they're going to say yes. And I know it's going to be the best thing for them. And you have to just practice and you have to be okay kind of sneaking at it for a little while. And they won't be able to tell, but you're going to be in your head. And so practice it out loud, practice it on your friends. Like Amanda just enrolled me. So grab your business partner, grab somebody that you've already enrolled and say, can I practice this verbiage with you? Because I really want to serve people. And so just get that practice in before you talk to a brand new person. That will help your confidence a lot.
Can I say one more thing, Rach? Just like Amanda said, the key is share it and then zip it. Just stop talking and let them be the first one to talk, to come back with yes or no or where they're at. Don't try to break the awkwardness because it gives them a way out sometimes. So just say it and be quiet and let them respond. Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, so if you take anything away from tonight, just shut up. Shut up and let them talk, and the rest will be great. Because I know that that's something not enough of us do enough of, is we end up just talking our way out of an awkward situation, and then it's way worse. Okay, cool. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and bring Amber on, and Amber is going to talk to you guys, and she's going to share her experience with objections. And after talking to Amber and being on a couple of her accountability calls, so incredible. Amber, I want you to share your ratio, your stats for your appointments versus enrollments. And I want you to talk about how often you actually come across objections and how you avoid that. And you guys, she's got some goals for you. So if you have any questions as she's talking or clarification, or there are objections that you want to make sure she talks about, put them in the chat. We're going to give it about 10 more minutes. So if we don't get to it, we'll have Amber do a quick video or something in Empowered to Lead. All right, Amber, take it away.
Okay, great. Thank you, Rachel and Amanda. This is a hard act to follow. So you set the bar a little high. I'm the newbie, so this is all, kind of new to me. But Thank you. I loved everything you said about the value pack and everything with the approach. So thank you for that. Okay, so as far as, I guess we could kind of dovetail off of what Rachel just said, which is, you know, kind of shut up and let them talk. I think the first thing that I'll say is that I definitely do that as well. I like to start the conversation with my, let's just call him a prospect. Sorry, I'm kind of a like traditional sales gal from the corporate world. So a lot of the terminology I use is sort of that language. So if you don't understand anything or if something's confusing, you're like, what are you talking about? Just ask and I'll restate it. So when I am looking for a prospect, let me just sort of back up. I use a lot of the same strategy that you guys use as far as getting the appointment. Once I have an appointment with someone, I am all about finding out specifically their why and finding it out really quick. So the very first thing that I ask someone is I say, Rachel, thank you so much for taking the time. I'm so excited we could talk today. And right away, I am like, passion, like I am so excited. Like I have not talked to you in 15 years, even if I just saw you at the grocery store, but I am so excited to share this with you. And a lot of what I do is over the phone because I recently just moved across the country and I don't know that many people here. So a lot of the folks that I've been sharing with have been in California. So a lot of my conversation is over the phone, which is a little tricky because I don't have that, I don't have the ability to see their facial reactions, right? So I feel like the excitement and the passion in my voice has to be that much more present to overcome for the lack of the verbal or the physical cues that I'm not receiving. So first thing, what I typically do is I ask them right away, I'm so excited, you know, that we're getting to sit down and talk. I know we went back and forth a little bit online or text, whatever, fill in the blank. I'd love to know specifically what interested you in our conversation to want to take it to the next level, to have this phone conversation. So what specifically did I say that interested you? So was it something about, you know, my weight loss? Was it something about, you know, the level of energy? Was it something about the ease of the system and the nutrition and how great we're feeling? You know, what is it? I don't say all of that, but that's what I'm leading to. I'm wanting them to share with me, you know, what it was that interests them versus me just sort of taking a guess or making an assumption of why I think they feel it's important. Okay. When I have the conversation with them, I really start out with, you know, understanding their why. Once they tell me kind of what that is, we talk through it. We understand, you know, what specifically they're interested in. And then I really dive in quickly to my story. And I make it very convincing, passionate. I share with them like I am sharing something that is the best kept secret I've ever known. And that's kind of weird, but in a way it's really true for me because in my world that I came from, good night, sweetie, love you. In my world that I came from, I was selling like technology. I was selling like what we're using right now, but it's different, you know, version of it. And it was just bland, and there was no life-changing event with it. There was no personal outcome. There was no personal win, no personal why. It was just a commodity, really. So for me, I'm able to tell my story and attach the conviction and the passion of what it did for me and my husband and my family, not only from a physical perspective, but also from an opportunity perspective. So what does that look like? I really just walk through our experience. I say, you know, I'm not sure if you've been following us since we've made this move, but we've had this huge change in lifestyle, and it has been so amazing. I cannot tell you how different our life is right now than it was just 7 months ago. We were running at a pace that was impossible to keep up with, both of us stressed out, commuting an hour, you know, on the freeway each way. You know, grabbing food to go, eating from vending machines, getting groceries delivered from Amazon. No joke, like Amazon brought my groceries to my doorstep, and I ordered them from my cubicle at 3 o'clock so I could make dinner at 6. That was sort of the pace. And a lot of the people that I am talking with are living that life right now. So they feel that, and they, you know, whether or not they've shared it with me, they resonate with it because they're living it. And I'd say it really was, it was really something when I was first approached by a colleague of mine about Isagenix. I absolutely was skeptical. I actually had a gal at work. She sat in the cubicle down from me, different department, but she would always come in. And you know what? This gal had just this glow about her. And I knew that she had the same life as me. She was this working mom. She had the same shitty commute. She had 2 kids. She was tired. Her husband was a cop. He worked a night shift. She was stressed about money. And she came in and she looked good. This gal had a pep in her step. She had a great skin tone. She was skinny. And I would look at her. I'd sit there in my cubicle and I would look at her in the copier. And I'd go, what the heck is that girl drinking? And she would have her shaker bottle, literally. And I would go, and I'd just look at her. And because we weren't on the same team at the time, I never really asked her, but I always looked at her. And there's a lot of people right there, whether they're right now, you guys, whether they're looking at you through social media, or they're looking at you at the grocery store, or when you drop your kids off at school, or you fill in the blank, they're looking at you, regardless of whether or not they're liking your posts or telling you or interacting with you. So that was my story with this gal. When she finally approached me, she came over and approached me from a business perspective. And I won't get into that because that's a whole nother call. But I was super skeptical. And I tell people this. I go, you know what? When I first learned about this, I was skeptical. I wasn't going to touch it with a 10-foot pole because you know what? I thought it was some kind of crazy pyramid scheme. Like this gal, you know, I didn't know her that well. She came up to me. She knew I was good at sales. She was like, yeah, I'm going to get this girl involved in this. Just rope her in. And I said, you know what? Thanks, but I don't think this is for me. And she sent me some information and I didn't read it because you know what? Why would I read, you know, three things? I can find everything on Google. And so I left it. I thought, you know what? The timing's not right. It's too expensive. I think it's some kind of a weird, shady, you know, scheme. So it's not right for me. And then, you know, it changed. 6 months later, my whole life changed. I got an injury where I had a surgery. I had my husband move cross country. I had 3 kids and 4 travel sports. I was still holding down a job and not telling them that I was moving. So the stress level that was already here went to here. And with that, the cortisol level went to here. And with the surgery and the lack of exercise, the waistband went to here. And that's when it changed for me because at that point, 6 months later, only 6 months later, it was all the same information, but it was the timing and it was right. And I moved to Lincoln, Nebraska, middle of nowhere. I'd been one time and I knew one person. And I walked in and the same thing happened. I parked my car in front of the school. I was sitting there and I see Jenny Wood walking out of her house and she's wearing this really pretty dress and she looks amazing. And I'm going, what is that girl drinking? And she's got this little e-shot, right? She's drinking this e-shot. Where? True story, right, Jenny? Look at her. She's nodding. Yes. And I'm sitting there and I'm literally like in my car. I don't even know who she is. And I'm going, that girl, you know, and then I look and she's got like 3 little ducklings, like kids. Like she's a mom and she looks this good. And I thought, oh my gosh, interesting. I wonder what she's all about. And sure enough, she connected with me. Another long story. We won't go into it, but she approached me and I asked her, basically, you know, what are you doing? She said, oh, I'm off to a business meeting or something. She was dressed in a cute sundress. She was going to meet a client for coffee or a prospect for coffee. And I said, oh, what do you do? And I tell you, if she had gone in, like this is the shut up part, Rachel. This is the shut up. Because if she had said more than 30 seconds about what she did, I would have gotten my car. I would have booked home. I would have never turned around and parked in her cul-de-sac again at the school because I would have been scared and I would have thought she was going to rope me into something. But she said, I'll let her go into that at another time, but she basically told me her 30-second story. And I was amazed And I thought, you know what? I think the timing is right. I need this nutrition. I don't have anything to lose. And P.S., like, I don't have a job right now, and I probably have some more expenses that I need to take care of. So I'm going to be open to this opportunity. And then I went home and I did my research, and she invited me to a tasting, and I went to the tasting, and I researched this, you know, for several days. And everything that I was skeptical about before, I went and I researched, and I found, you know, my own conviction in talking with her that this was the right nutrition. It was the right time in my life, and this was something that I deserved and I needed to do for my body and for my family. While I'm doing this, you guys, I'm being a little wordy here, I apologize. But what I do is I also say, what happened is unbelievable. I did not have any idea that I would have these results. And I said, have you seen my before and after pictures by chance on social media? Because I know I posted them and I'm so embarrassed that I did, but I had to because I was so excited. And they go, no, or yes, or whatever. And I go, I'm going to send them to you right now. And I send them to them. And then I say, you know, one of the things I was concerned about was, you know, it was an investment, and it was investment in myself, and I had quit my job. So, but really what I found out after looking at it is really the investment of $20 a day, I'm worth it. Number one, my family depends on me to run the ship. And if I'm not healthy and happy, no one's healthy and happy. And next, I also feel like I was able to reallocate our budget. So my grocery budget, I'm not spending any more than I already was on vitamins, protein bars, smoothies, Cliff bars, beer, and wine during the week. Hello, I used to drink wine every night because I was like stressed and malnourished. So I'd come home and drink wine and cook dinner from my Amazon groceries. So all of those things, if I reallocated that and just shifted my spending, I found that really that investment of, you know, $20 a day was really something that Pat and I could be okay with. So that's kind of what I do up front is I address the pyramid scheme thing, and I address the budget thing like in my story, and I wrap it up a lot tighter than I am right now. I apologize, I'm being long-winded. But by doing those up front, covering costs, covering the network marketing model, and covering the I guess the other one was time, and just saying like, you know what, it wasn't right then, but it's right now. And if this is your time based off of what you've just told me, A, B, and C, and I go back and I look at my notes and I write down 3 nuggets of their why and what interested them. And I repeat that. And I say, if this truly is your time, then this is the solution. And it's just conviction, passion. And I do use, I know Amanda doesn't, but I do say, and you know what, you have nothing to lose with this. The only thing you have to lose is getting your money back because it's completely guaranteed. So you have 30 days, and I have not had anyone send their product back, and I would be shocked if you were the first. And that's it. And then I would probably now go into the value pack, description. Okay, that was so much talking. I'm so sorry. The batch was almost over. Okay, what questions do you have? What else can I cover?
Amber, really quick, can I just say the beauty of what she's just done, guys, and her background is sales, and Isagenix is not selling, it's sharing, but some of these things that we know from sales, and it really does help, is what she's just done beautifully is she's overcome the objection before it came up. So just as she's talking about her experience and what she's, number one, listened to their wants and their needs, pulled out what those things are that they need, told her story with passion and excitement, and with the same things that identify with those needs, showing how that met the need in her life, then talking just casually like, I admit at first I was kind of skeptical and blah, blah, blah for these reasons, and go through those like 3 top things really comfortably, really like, I was thinking this and then I went through that and I don't know, blah, blah, blah. But you know what? At the end of the day, I was like, $20 a day, I'm worth it. I'm the mom. I've got a big family, and our whole family, our whole home revolves around me. And if I'm not taking care of myself, if I'm not healthy and strong, it's going to implode. And so I just literally took a look at what we were already spending for protein shakes and this, and just like she did. And that's what I do, the same thing, Amber. In our tasting parties, I tell the story the same way. And I'm telling you, for years, mean, if they come, they'll get started. I mean, they absolutely they can do it. And just like she said, if they can do it and it's their time, they'll get started. And you won't have to be answering a lot of objections.
I don't really get them.
Me either. And but you did that beautifully. You just gave everybody a perfect example of what that looks like in a super warm, inviting, conversational way. It was excellent. Very good.
Oh, thanks. Sorry, it was a little long.
That's great. Okay, so you guys, if you have any questions that you want, Amy has one. So when you're talking at this point, Amber, has your prospect seen a tool, or is that coming up next?
So I take a little different approach. I like to control the data that I give and the picture that's painted. So I do not send them anything before. And I know that I do that a little differently, but that's just my approach. I don't want them to have a preconceived idea of anything, you know. Some people, it's funny, one of my friends who I was talking to yesterday, I sent her the YouTube, the Just Cleanse After. And I said, I'm just going to send you this. I know we've talked a lot, but this is a high level and it really goes through in detail some things that I may have missed about this system. Okay. So she writes back and she goes, I have to tell you, I rarely watch YouTube videos because I hate them. She goes, this one was actually pretty good. So I think that, you know, there's sort of here's my thing. Like, I feel like that video cannot convey the passion, conviction, but my why, my results, my story like I can. And while I like it, I think it's great backup. I think she does an amazing job, as does, you know, Eric Hoover and some of the other ones. I feel like people buy and trust people that they like, right? And they know. And they know me, and they know my story, and they know my family, and they don't know Eric, and they don't know Mary Evans. And it's great information, but it doesn't, in my opinion, it doesn't close the sale for me.
So one thing real quick is they've already seen a tool. They saw your before and after photo, right? That's already something. Or they saw. So I don't send. The only time I really am sending a tool out is if I've approached somebody else and been like, I have this awesome thing I want you to learn about. You know, and it's kind of like a cold, like, outbound prospecting here. I'm in sales now, but unless, you know, because if somebody is asking me about what I'm doing, like, they're already curious, or they want to know, they've seen what I've been posting on social media, or they've seen the results in real life. Like, they've already seen a tool. That's my mindset, because I'm confident on the phone. In the beginning, I relied on the tools a little bit more. So just use what feels right for you, but don't feel like you have to send a video. If you guys have already been talking and you're setting up a call, you don't also have to send them a video, right? Use your judgment on how much and their interest level. If they're like, I got a desperate message from a girl a couple weeks ago. It was like, you know, this long message about how she's ready for a change. She's desperate. Like, I'm not going to send her a freaking video. She doesn't need that. She just wants to go on the phone. Right. You know, give me your credit card number and get the product. So kind of use your judgment on that.
Yeah, totally. Agreed.
Good job. And then Amber, real quick, could you share the numbers that you shared with me as far as, like, in the last, since you started building or since you started sharing, how many appointments have you had? How many enrollments have come from those? And you guys, just
so not
typical income disclaimer, okay? But yeah, Amber, it's really important for your approach for people to understand what those numbers are.
Yeah. So as of this Monday, I've had 48 conversations, meetings, and I've enrolled 41 people out of those 48 conversations.
Isn't that incredible, you guys? And it's literally casting that vision, overcoming objections before they even come up. And so, and we do need to wrap up here, because I know a bunch of people are messaging and texting me, like, they have calls and stuff going on at 7. But for sure, a couple of resources to leave you guys with. Because we're going to talk about creating consultants on another call, but there's some really great verbiage around that too. But Amanda talked about the video. It's in Start and Isogenics Business with Zach and Eden Slovan around the Value Pack or President's Pack. You can search it in those groups. And then this call is recorded, and so that story, like the way that Amber approached that, you guys will be able to watch that again. And I'm sure we can even have if it's helpful, I know it's helpful for me as a visual learner to watch the interaction happen, like a mock 3-way call. We can set any of that stuff up. So if there's something that would be helpful to expand on the information that Amanda and Amber have shared, reach out and ask in the group so we can make that happen for you, okay? So if there's no other closing questions here in the chat, I don't see any more. Okay, perfect. All right, you guys, thank you so much, Amanda and Amber, for your input.
Thank you, Rachel.
Yeah, their verbiage is amazing, you guys, and it's working. As Jenny and I can tell you, as they're enrolling sponsors, that these girls are blowing it out of the water and are, easily some of our top enrollers on our teams, and there's a reason for that. Okay, so we love you guys so much. Have a good rest of your evening, and we'll see you guys next week.
Thank you.
Bye. Thanks, guys.
Okay.